You may be wondering, if recovery and intuitive eating really work, then why are there still obese people in the world? Does this mean it doesn't work for everyone? That's what we're discussing on today's episode of Done With Dieting. Hey guys, I'm Jessie Riemann, and I'm a certified eating disorder recovery coach, personal trainer, and manifestation coach. And on this channel, we talk about overcoming eating disorders and body dysmorphia, and how to manifest your dream life using self-love techniques and by building more confidence. Basically, I'm going to help you fire that negative inner self-critic and help you unleash your inner confident badass. So I know society has trained us to see a quote-unquote obese person and immediately judge them as someone who eats too much, doesn't exercise enough, and is just plain lazy. But the truth of the matter is, we don't ever really truly know what's going on with that person unless we know them very well. And you need to have knowledge of recovery, which you do because you watch this channel. So I'm going to dive right in and explain why obesity happens in the first place with or without recovery. Number one, restriction of any kind. If a person is still holding on to literally any form of restriction around food, physically or mentally, and this can just be in the form of good versus bad foods, feeling guilty about eating certain foods. Oh, hi, how are you? This will easily trigger binge eating. Now, if you've been in recovery for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you've been restricted, when you've been starved, when you're guilting yourself about certain foods that you're eating, all you can do is think about the foods that you are not allowed to eat, and eventually biology is going to take over and you cannot help but binge. It is a natural biological response. So rather than us judging people for binge eating or assuming that they're only binge eating because they're lazy, let's look at the fact that even if they're eating lots and lots of food, they could be, and most likely are, guilting themselves the entire time they are eating those foods, which is only going to repeat the vicious cycle. Number two, limiting beliefs. If a person believes at their core things like, I will always be overweight or obese, obesity runs in my family, I just look at food and gain weight. How many people have said that? I hear it in my family all the time. Recovery will never work for me. What this is doing is creating a belief pattern within the subconscious mind. And the subconscious absolutely loves to do whatever we tell it to do over and over and over. So when you talk to someone in person who societally is considered obese, you will see them describe these kinds of thought patterns about themselves and their bodies, and right there they are limiting what is possible for their body. Number three, negative self-talk. Every single person who struggles with weight and obesity has one thing in common 100% of the time: horrible negative self-talk. Now, like we talked about in number two, your subconscious mind hears every single thing you tell it every single day. So if those are things like, I'm fat, I'm disgusting, and so on, not only will your subconscious mind create a pattern that causes you to do things like binge eat, but also hold on to excess weight, because the mind truly affects the body so much more than we realize. One of my all-time favorite quotes that I've mentioned before on this channel is from Marissa Peer, and that is, every thought you think and every word you say forms a blueprint in your mind, and your mind must work to make that blueprint real. So if you are consistently talking about yourself and your body in a negative, hateful way, you cannot expect to see any kinds of positive changes in your body, because you're literally creating your belief system first here, which is then communicating that to your body. Hey, okay, I'm fat, I'm disgusting, I'm ugly, I don't like my body. And the brain goes, okay, you don't like your body, you are overweight, you're always going to be overweight or obese, so let me help you to create those patterns. How do we go about doing that? So then, because of whatever your current beliefs are about how you become overweight or obese, such as binge eating, not exercising, not taking care of your body in a way that feels good to you, you're going to continue to repeat those patterns in your life simply because of the beliefs you have that you essentially have no choice but to always be overweight and hate your body. The way you change that is by changing the way you speak to your body and about your body. You guys have seen my before and after pictures. Not only before recovery, during recovery when I reached my highest weight, but also after when my body released overshoot. And I didn't change my diet. I followed the recovery processes that you guys already know. I was hardly exercising at all. I've described that before. And the one thing that I did change and was very religious and consistent about was changing negative self-talk and negative beliefs about my body into positive ones. It seriously was the number one thing that worked. It is proof. You see it in the pictures. It does work. It just, again, because right now you have these negative limiting beliefs about what is possible for your body. That is why it feels so difficult to say all of these positive things in the beginning, because you don't believe them yet. But unless you give yourself time and you are diligent with this process, you are not going to see any positive changes. You will stay exactly where you are. I can promise you that. If you keep, or even if you keep telling yourself that you are going to continue to gain weight, your mind hears you. You guys, it's going to do exactly what you tell it to do. So take back that control and change your self-talk right now if you want to see the changes you want to see. And lastly, what is obese? Obesity is in the eye of the beholder, as I like to say, and body diversity is a real thing. And your genetics do play a role in the overall size and shape that you are. However, a person can be perfectly healthy, blood work, hormones, etc., and still be considered by the arbitrary BMI numbers to be considered obese. So what does obese mean to you? Is it simply based on the numbers that say within your height range for your gender, you should be within this range, and if you're not, therefore you're in the obese category? Is it a look? Is it purely the fear that we have that we're going to be judged by other people? And if you saw my post yesterday, you will know that ultimately anyone who is going to criticize your body, including you, if you are someone who criticizes other people's bodies, we've all done it. It has nothing to do with you or the person that you are criticizing. It tells you exactly how a person is feeling about themselves. We tend to only criticize people for things that we see within ourselves that we don't like. Let that sink in for a minute. Now, I know that I'm one of the few people in our little recovery community that does talk about losing overshoot, and that it is not a bad thing to want. You guys know that I always say that I will 100% believe in your ability to manifest anything you want to, but especially when it comes to changing your body, if it is not coming from a place of self-love and self-acceptance, it's not a positive thing to manifest, and B, you're never going to manifest it because of the reasons I stated earlier. Ultimately, the only thing stopping you from losing overshoot is what you think is possible for you, what you believe can happen for you. And you have the ability to change that. We all have the ability to go in and rewire all of our limiting beliefs and change them into positive, hopeful beliefs. It does take practice. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is truly how you do it, guys. You have to get in there. Figure out your limiting beliefs, number one. It really helps to create lists. I kind of do this a lot of times with clients with every major category in life: money, love and relationships, body and appearance, health, and anything else you can think of that's an important category for you in your life. And write down every single limiting belief that you have. And once you're able to do that, you can see it right in front of you and you'll go, wow, I didn't realize, like, no wonder I'm not able to succeed in all these areas. Look at all the beliefs that I have. And from there, you create new lists where you flip those statements into hopeful, positive ones that you are going to repeat to yourself every single day. And you're going to catch yourself every single time you hear yourself saying something like, I look at food and I gain weight. You switch that and you go, wait a minute, no, I don't want to think that way anymore. I can eat whatever I want and my body digests it easily. I have a healthy metabolism. I eat whatever I want and have exactly the body I want. You can even change your beliefs about exercise to say, I only have to exercise in a way that feels good to my body and I have a healthy metabolism and my body looks exactly the way I want. Okay, so to sum everything up, to be honest, most of the time when I see someone who is struggling with overshoot or quote unquote obesity, most of the time it's a combination of all the things that we've talked about today. They're still holding on to some form of restriction, even if it's food guilt. They have severely limiting beliefs about what is possible for their body and the way their body is always going to be and look. They have horrible negative self-talk every single day and they haven't been changing it. And they're holding on to the arbitrary BMI numbers, thinking that the only way they can be considered healthy is if they are within those numbers. Now, I have two things to say about this. Number one, if you are happy and healthy and you love yourself exactly as you are, and maybe societally you're considered overweight or obese, more power to you. Stay exactly as you are. Don't change a thing. You're doing everything right. I am not telling you that you need to lose weight or change your body in any way. However, because most of the people that I speak to from this channel and social media fall in the second category, and that is if you do wish to change your body. You can. You absolutely 100% can. I believe in your ability to do that, but you have to as well. I cannot believe that solely for you alone. I can tell you this as many times as you guys want to hear it, but you have to do the work. You have to get in there and change your limiting beliefs. You have to believe that it is possible for the overshoot to come off of you. And the way you do that is through changing your negative self-talk to positive affirmations about this is where I am now, I love myself, I'm happy with my body, however you want to say it. Visualization is also a super, super powerful technique. In fact, if it's triggering for you to look in the mirror right now, I suggest you don't look in the mirror and only allow yourself to picture your body in a way that feels good to you. So the mirror a lot of times will make us go back to our old negative beliefs and say, oh, it's not working. See, I see right there. How can I lie to myself? It's right there in front of me. And you continue that same exact negative belief pattern. So if the mirror is triggering, don't look in it. Only visualize your body the way you want it to. Only speak about your body the way you want it to. And you will see positive changes happen over time. I can guarantee you it happened for me, happens for every single person who follows this process. You guys just need to give yourself a little time, a little patience, and most importantly, to learn to love and accept yourself throughout the process. Because again, even if I was able to wave a magic wand over every single one of you right now and make you your ideal weight right here, right now, you would find something else that you consider to be wrong with you. You would think you need to lose more weight, you got to get in better shape somehow. And that cycle, I promise you, would keep repeating itself because you haven't learned that self-love and self-acceptance. When you show love and acceptance towards your body and you feel love towards your body, it's going to respond positively to that every single time. You may not see it right away, again, because of our limiting beliefs. Most of us don't believe that it's possible to see that kind of change overnight. When you are positive and loving and accepting towards your body is going to respond to that the same way it responds to negative self-talk, and that shows up on your body. the more positive and loving you are to your body, the more that's going to show up on your body. So hopefully that was helpful and answered your questions today. If you do have more questions or would like help getting in there and changing those limiting beliefs to help you lose your overshoot, you can contact me for a 20-minute complimentary consultation at donewithdietingllc.com, and we can see if we would be a good fit for coaching. If you like this video and would like to see more videos like this one, be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you never miss an update. And if you did find this video helpful and useful, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. It really and truly does help us to reach more people who also wish to learn how to have more self-confidence, how to love themselves more, and how to be done with dieting. Bye, guys. You never miss an update on future videos, and if you found this video helpful and useful,